2 Minute Drive podcast. I'm Robert Palace alongside my co-host Abraham Trevino. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. This is my season 2 debut since you and Jaco were able to hold the fort down for the season opener. Good job to you and Jake and Marcos for doing the draft day. Had some stuff going on, so wasn't able to attend, but I'm back here for the audience. NFL schedule release was today. It's been all over the place. It's like a week-long event thing now, folks, where there's NFL likes to have fun with it. They dominate this whole thing. They dominate the draft. They dominate free agency. NFL is almost becoming like a 24/7, 365 type of sport where there's always something going on, even when the season's not going on. So that's the brilliance of the NFL, and they just continue to get creative in their marketing, and they continue to do it here for the schedule release. So are you excited, Abe? Is there anything that surprised you? Are you content? You're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Do you like the layout of your guys' schedule? Tell me all about it. What do you think?
I glanced at our schedule, and it's a hard one. We got a pretty hard schedule.
Real quickly, Jake's on IR, busted eardrum. He'll be back whenever we return. I think it'll be closer to right before the season starts, I believe, unless some major stuff goes on. But he was talking about the Cowboys schedule is harder this year. Well, of course it is. You all had a great record last year. So how do you think it works in the NFL? What do you think, because you have an awesome record, you think the next year your schedule is going to be easier? No, you're going to play the teams that were in contention for playoffs, which include my Bucks, which include the Eagles, which include whoever was in playoff hunt last year. So of course your schedule is going to be harder. So just FYI on that, Jaco.
Yeah, just looking at what is this? I think it's the first 7 games, not looking good.
Name us just the matchups off your head. You don't need to go in depth. I just want to know who the opponents are.
Well, I mean, we got Browns, Saints, Ravens, Giants, Steelers, Lions, and 49ers, the first 7. I'm not going to say anything.
Let's stick with the Cowboys here real quick. I want to get this out of the way, and then we can talk about the other stuff. My boy Tom Brady is going to be making his commentating debut that opening Sunday on Fox with the Dallas Cowboys heading over to Cleveland. That's a strange opener for the Cowboys, man. You usually get some NFC East matchup, whether it's the Giants or the Eagles or some, big time matchup, even against Brady and the Bucks. They did that I think 2 years in a row. So I don't know. Cleveland, really? This is what you're going to choose for not only Tom Brady's debut, but you're building it as the America's game of the week. Looking at the week 1 schedule, I mean, there's definitely other games that they could have slotted here for Tom Brady's debut. I don't know. What do you think about that aspect of it?
I think it's great. I mean,
of course you do. You're a mark.
I think it's great. That's a great start for Tom Brady. He's excited. He texted me over the weekend after his
shut
roast.
up! You have nothing to do with him.
And he's excited. He's ecstatic, and so am I. I'm happy for him.
I mean, you're talking about 2 mid quarterbacks in Dak Prescott and Deshaun Watson.
Robert,
the only thing that'll make this game enticing to watch and listen to is if Brady is actually fully honest with his commentary. And I know we kind of saw it, let it slip in a little, I think it was an upfront presentation for Fox Sports. He was there with Michael Strahan, and he was talking about that game and talking about the Cowboys and talking about Dak finally coming through and making the audience laugh. So if we get that, Tom Brady, for this game, then I'm all in. And that includes shots at the Browns and Deshaun Watson or whatever.
Robert, we've covered the NFL together, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
And every year I tell you that the Cowboys manage to do, they always do something to where the other opponent's quarterback just freaking shines, man. like you want to pick him up in fantasy the next week because you're like, fuck, this guy freaking threw for this many yards and touchdowns and looked fantastic. And you get them, and then the next week they just bust because they play somebody else different. The
Yeah.
Cowboys this year, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The Cowboys didn't do shit in the offseason with Jerry Jones running his stupid big mouth saying, "Oh, we're gonna spend or their money's not an option or whatever bullshit."
We're all
They
in,
got
right?
one. They got one guy, Eric Kendricks from San Diego, who's got injury problems. I mean, if he's healthy, then he'll be something. Other than that, in the draft, Robert, in the draft, I was like, man, we're gonna get. It would have been good to get that receiver, that speedy receiver, and he was there too when we were picking at 24. He
Mm-hmm.
was there, and um, okay, they didn't get him. They moved back, so I was like, oh, okay, because nobody got a running back, the one from Brooks from Texas, um, and so anyway, that didn't happen. So I mean, they went all offense on this. I get it, but they also didn't. I mean, they brought back Zeke. They're gonna go with Zeke, Rico Dow. Um, I can't remember who. I think Royce Freeman or something like that. That Fugaz, and they didn't address the receiver area. They let go of Gallup. They're gonna bank on Cooks again, and then poor Lamb's gonna have to do all the work, and he's gonna get double and triple teamed. And I don't know. I, I'm gonna tell you that this game is it's gonna be a good one, and I think I'm not gonna give full analysis, but I'm gonna tell you
Look at you.
I think the Browns are
Look
gonna
at
look.
you.
Robert Miles Garrett,
Look at you.
Miles Garrett
Man,
against.
forget look at all this deep diving you're doing already. Look, listen, folks. I roped in Abe right here and he took the bait like super easy. So folks, real quickly, as he went on this belligerent monologue of what the Cowboys didn't do in the offseason, we're not even talking about roster moves. We're supposed to be talking about the schedule.
No, no, no,
And
no,
this
no.
motherfucker right here, we made a bet off air that this guy would not be able to go one episode without talking about the Dallas Cowboys at length. Whether, the only exception is making picks for the games. And look at already here. And he went on this
No,
tangent.
That
So
that
I'm
didn't
gonna
that
and
didn't.
there's $100 on the line in this bet. And I know he's not gonna be able to do it. For one full episode, he's not allowed to talk about the Cowboys. And right here, right off the bat, I roped him in and I didn't even have to try. And he went all in.
No,
Stay
I'm,
on
I'm
target.
giving you.
This
I'm
ain't
giving you.
this ain't season 2 episode 1. This is season 2 episode 2. Daddy's home. We're gonna keep this
I'm
on track.
I'm telling
Don't
you.
go deep
I'm
into the
telling you.
rosters. We're talking straight up schedules. So you're happy, of course, about Brady calling Browns versus Cowboys when he could be calling, Bucks Commanders. That's also on
Nah,
week 1, and that
nah.
late, Jaden Daniels, who's the coach, Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, OC. Baker's got a
You're
chip on his shoulder. That's going to be a great game. A bunch of
you're
young,
so, you're so, you're
crappy
such a.
players.
Of course it is because you're a mark. You're a
No,
mark for the Bucks. You're
do
like,
you think I
oh,
was just
the
boasting my team?
Bucks.
I was boasting the Commanders too. That's going to be a great
You
like
you
back
just
and
you
forth.
named two coaches. Fuck out of here. You didn't name anything else. You
I
didn't
don't.
name
I'm not you that need
anything
to name
else, huh?
like
Huh?
third, fourth
Who else?
string
Huh?
guys
I didn't hear you.
that
I
nobody
didn't hear you
cares
say
about.
Austin Eckler, huh? They picked him up, huh? Yeah.
I'm just talking at the cuff, man. I'm
You
just
know what?
spitting
No,
out
no, no, no,
stuff
no.
like real quickly.
You're just a mark because you had to throw your team out there, the Bucks, and then what are you
No,
going to
no,
say
no,
next?
no,
Oh,
no. Hey, okay.
he
So
could have
speaking of,
called the
let's
Pats.
talk about week 1. So let's look at other matchups. You could have moved Lions Rams into that 3 o'clock spot and maybe
Wow,
put Cowboys and
no,
Sunday Night Football, and you could have had Tom Brady call the Rams and Lions. That would have been a good game for him to call. What do you think of
nah,
that?
nah.
Nah,
The Lions and
I
the Rams, Robert. Lions
two
and the
playoff teams
Rams.
from last year. Why not? America's
Oh
Game of the
man,
Week on Fox.
oh man, you're so full of shit, man. Look
Let's
at
go
you.
back.
Your first game back, and you already got a dirty jersey.
What are you talking
Fuck,
about?
I'm
You're
gonna
mad. I
come. I'm
got you
gonna
on the
come after
ropes
you.
already.
You didn't.
You're already
You didn't
false
get shit.
starting.
I'm in your
You
head.
already got
I'm
like
already
3
in your head.
flags. I
Uh,
was like dinking and dunking on you right there.
Robert, you may think that, but you've already fumbled, and
I
you haven't
roped you
even.
in with that Cowboys
You,
so easily, folks. You
oh,
heard that. He went on some
Robert,
random tangent for like no
Robert.
reason.
You're freaking pounding your chest on a fucking pick that I threw. It's okay. I've thrown
What?
one. You've thrown already
Oh,
three.
you admitted you admitted you
Uh,
fell for it. Okay,
no,
thank you.
no,
You
no, no,
made
no,
my
no, no,
made
no,
my
no.
point.
Uh,
Anyways, let's stick with
At
week
least I'm
one,
not
Abe.
like fucking. Okay, let's continue on.
Let's go back to the start of where we're gonna be with this whole thing when it kicks off on Thursday, September 5th. Ravens Chiefs. What do you think of that opener?
Ooh, man. I think that's going to be a good game. Uh, but I'm not going to be all in on Lamar this year. But
Fuck that.
I think that's going to be that's
I
going to
don't
be a
ever
good.
want to hear about Lamar Jackson ever again.
Is that in Arrowhead Stadium or is that in
Of
Maryland?
course, it's at Arrowhead. It's the champs.
Ah,
The champs always open at home.
yeah, yeah. That's going to be a good game. I'll see it. I'll
I mean,
watch it.
I'll watch, of course, because I'm an NFL fan. But I mean, if the Chiefs win, I ain't gonna be mad about it because I don't believe in Lamar. We'll never believe in Lamar again. He had his chance last season. That was the time to do it, and he choked big time. The Ravens, oh man, I don't want to hear about them. They don't even deserve to make the playoffs this year. That's all I'm saying. Is because that was their chance last year. Reigning MVP couldn't get it done. Get out of here.
Yeah,
But luckily, we won't have to wait too long of days to get to the rest of week one because there will be a game the next day from Brazil on Peacock. And this is a more enticing matchup for me. It's Jordan Love and the Packers facing Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I think that's going to be a better game than the Ravens Chiefs, to be honest. What do you think of that?
yeah. I think so. I think that's going to be a good game. Um,
Breathtaking
I,
analysis, folks.
I'm looking more towards the Jets and the Niners game. Aaron
On
Rodgers
Monday night.
Monday night. What do you think about that one,
The
Robert?
redo. I hope it goes well. I hope you don't tear your Achilles again running the flag to open. No, seriously, I do. Honestly, like I love Colin Cowherd, but he's given Aaron Rodgers a lot of shit, and it's kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Like I kind of want, and it pains me to say this as a New England Patriots fan, but I kind of want the Jets to have a good season with Rodgers to kind of stick it to a lot of the pundits that have just been knocking him. And I think they did a good job in the draft and in free agency. They loaded up that offensive line and got Aaron some weapons. So they should be in for a good run. That actually should be a really, really good defensive game between the Jets and the Niners.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I said, we don't have to cover everything. Anything else that sticks out? Or should we already go into our breaking news of where the 2 Minute Drive podcast crew is going to head? Should we do that now?
Just well, hold on. I know you don't. I know you don't care about this, but the Steelers and the Falcons. This is the Steelers with Russell Wilson
Okay.
and the Falcons with Kirk Cousins. What do you think? How are you feeling about that matchup?
I mean,
It's a
on
12.
paper, it looks exciting, but I mean, it's week one, new quarterbacks on new teams. It might be a lot of sloppy football. So if this were happening later in the season, I'd probably be a little bit more excited about it. But we all know like September is usually like the get all the kinks out and get all the rust off. And then once we hit October, that's when we'll start seeing like some emergence. So I'm not going to expect them to be like Russell Wilson. We saw what happened in Denver. Kirk Cousins has been pretty solid where he's gone, so he may be the only one that's consistent. But I'm not expecting this to be like an even keel type matchup.
Yeah, I just want to see how it goes there, but that's another matchup.
Why you have your Russell Wilson jersey in the cart on NFL.com or what?
Oh, get out
Huh?
of here! I got my Kirk Cousins one.
Kirk Cousins.
I,
That's still the Bucks
you
division to lose. Everyone's already got the Falcons. Go ahead. Bet the Falcons, baby. All of you. Everybody put your money all in. That happened last year, right? You all counted the Bucks out. We love it. Mike Evans
Robert,
back. Baker.
Robert, you freaking you were pounding your chest when Kirk Cousins went to Atlanta. What are you
I
talking
like
about?
Kirk Cousins. I don't have a problem with him, but the disrespect that the Bucks continuously get year after year post Brady is just mind boggling. That team knows how to draft well, develop. I'm still not all in on Todd Bowles as the coach, but I trust their OC and I trust their players to make a good season. So I have high expectations for the Bucks this season because they did well in the playoffs. I think they could have beaten the Lions if some stuff had gone their way, but um, it's a new season. Got to look forward.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, is it time to break the news to the audience of what's
Go
going on?
ahead, go ahead and break the news.
All right, folks. It was the contracts have been signed. The seats are set. All that stuff. The 2 Minute Drive podcast crew will be heading up to Dallas again, and surprisingly, it won't be for the Bucks Cowboys game on December 22nd. It will be October 13th. The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Detroit Lions. So you'll be seeing Palace with his neutral NFL Rob Lowe cap. I'm going just as a spectator, folks. I have no stake in the game for either team, even though I do like the Lions, and we all know how I feel about the Cowboys. But that's where the crew will be there up in Dallas that weekend. Should be a whole lot of fun. I'm excited for it. How about you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope this year we can interview some people, Robert. I mean, around the stadium. I did buy that little mic, and
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. We'll do some. Well, you plan that episode then. You plan what you want to
yeah,
do and all that stuff. I mean, we don't even have to
yeah,
do just one episode. We can do we can do a regular episode, which we record our picks and all that stuff, and then we
right.
can do like a special where it's just like a bunch of interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm super stoked about this. We're heading out. It's a Saturday. We're gonna watch the Terrifier 3
Oh Lord,
Saturday night.
we ain't doing that.
Saturday night, and then Sunday's the game. Or Sunday. What is it? It's a 3 o'clock game, right?
It's a 3 o'clock game, and then just to continue with the theme of the schedule, the Sunday night game that night will be Joe Burrow against Daniel Jones, the Giants. So I'll at least get to see Joe Burrow play. That'll be, I mean, hopefully he stays injury free. That's my one thing about the Bengals and not going and all in on them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited. I'm ready for that.
Um, what do you think about the Thanksgiving schedule?
I know it's the Cowboys and the Giants.
Yawn. The
Cowboys,
that's they
Giants, and then
man,
what is the other?
they gave you another layup on Thanksgiving. They just want to see you all win on Thanksgiving.
I'm not gonna
See
say anything about
if they
that,
were
but
real smart, they would have done like Cowboys Bucks for Thanksgiving. That'd be like that's a treat right there.
that would have been a good game. Yeah.
And Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, so like I want some good football to watch.
Well, then you don't want the Cowboys playing the Bucks. You'd be disappointed then on your favorite holiday.
I mean, even if let's say they were to lose, I know it would be competitive. I'll say that.
I don't know, Robert. What are the other games? I know it's Cowboys, Giants, and then I didn't get to see.
Let's go to Thanksgiving here. I believe that's week number. Hang on, in the audience here. I'm not even sure. My thing's taking forever to load. Um, hang on. Bear with us, folks. We're reacting to all of this live as it's being released. So, again, this is the second episode of the second season here, the 2024 NFL schedule release. I'm here with Abraham. It's probably week. We're looking at probably week 12.
Yeah, I believe that's week 12.
My internet's usually pretty good. I don't know why it's deciding to be all slow now. All right, here we go. Week 12. Come on. Oh, wait. No, it's actually going to be week 13. One more. I don't know, man. It's going to be weird going to Dallas and not have like any stakes in the teams that are playing. So maybe I'll
Well,
actually have. Maybe
at
I mean
least
I usually enjoy myself, but I mean I won't have to have that anxiety, like that embarrassment we went to last year where my Patriots just got the shit knocked out of them. It was just that day sucked for me as a fan. Oh, okay. Look, here we go. So the early game on Thanksgiving will be the Bears and Lions. Now, if
okay.
Caleb Williams ends up being what we think he's going to be, and everybody's talking about he's like the next Patrick Mahomes and all that stuff, then that should be a really good game. And then the night game on NBC will be the Dolphins and the Packers.
Oh, that could be a good one.
Tua versus Jordan Love. I think that'll be a high scoring game while you're eating some mashed potatoes leftovers. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think that's pretty. Yeah, that Lions and Bears one is going to be good. Like you said, if Caleb Williams turns out to be the player who we think he's going to be or supposed to be, I think that might be a good game.
Man, with the Lions being kind of good now, it kind of sucks that they're still like the early game. Like that's
Yeah,
still kind of like when people are getting stuff ready, and
I
it's
would
kind of like
have.
a game that's just on in the background. But now, like out of those three, like that's the one that you kind of want to pay attention to, like just because it's probably going to be like really, really good.
Yeah, they should have put the Packers and Dolphins to
Oh,
start it
fuck that.
off.
Put the Cowboys early. You know that Giants game.
Get the
The Giants are
fuck
going to be
out of
so bad this
here!
year, Abe.
You don't.
Abe, you know it.
If they utilize Neighbors and they get him going,
Oh, stop it.
come on,
Stop
Danny
it. The
Dimes,
Giants are going to
Danny
stink.
Dimes.
Stop calling them
You know,
that.
you know what? Robert hates when you call him.
Y'all are pathetic that y'all call anybody that
Who's
calls Daniel Jones that. You
who's
don't know
the
anything about football.
look. By that time, I think Drew Lock's going to be the starting quarterback. So
Drew
and Drew
Lock.
Lock,
You're
and he's
you're you're hanging your hopes on Drew Lock.
he could be better than Danny. I mean,
And
he's
one
better
like
than
that's some high
who's
bar.
who's the other guy? Danny DeVito. I don't want to see that
Who
fuck.
cares? I'm just saying the Giants are going to be they're
You,
drafting
you
number
you don't
one
know that,
next year.
Robert. You don't know. Do you know that for
Oh,
sure?
I do know that. Oh, I do know.
You
There's
know,
there's a
but
couple of things I'm certain of is like, you know, the Giants are going to be bad. Who's the other team? Oh gosh, they may be the worst team in the league. New England's still like rebuilding. I don't think they're going to be as bad as last year, but they're still going to be like down in the bottom like tier of
I,
teams.
I
But
think Carolina's still going to be bad.
Carolina, that's another one like that. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Um,
mean, if you say the Giants are getting the first pick next year, then Shador Sanders is going to be their quarterback. I'm just saying.
yeah, we'll see what. That's a conversation for another time. Let's talk about Christmas Day, and the big news is that Netflix signed a deal with the NFL, and they will be broadcasting two games on Christmas Day. So for those of you that have your Netflix accounts already, you're gonna be in for a treat. I've watched some of their live feeds, including the roast of Tom Brady, which we'll talk about here at the end. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Their feeds are actually good, almost as good as Amazon. Like I know Amazon doesn't get like the great games, but their presentation's really good as far as like their 4K and their streaming bandwidth is like really good. So and Netflix has that type of presentation. So we're gonna get Chiefs Steelers and Ravens Texans. So I got interest in both games, but probably more the Texans one just because I want to see CJ Stroud up against his Ravens defense, which I know the Ravens will be good, but I just don't believe in them to win it all. What are your thoughts on the Netflix deal?
Yeah, I think that's great. And I just got Netflix too. So well, not too long ago. So um, I think that's good. Yeah, I think I like how these streaming services are starting to get games. You know, instead of you have because I was like, man, I got to get cable. You know, and I have the streaming services. So I mean, this is great. You know, with Amazon doing Thursday and then now Netflix picking up some games. So I mean, I think this is good.
How
Also with
close? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. And then like with Peacock doing their Sunday night games as well. So I mean, I'm excited for that.
How close are we, do you think, to the Super Bowl eventually being like where you got to find it on a streamer or you got to pay? 'Cause I think we're almost there.
Well, Robert,
I know they
if I'm not
simulcast it. Like, let's say if it's on, like, it was on
I watched,
CBS this year, so me and my
yeah,
dad watched it on Paramount Plus.
yeah, I watched it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
I,
how
I
close
think
are we to like paying for it? You think, like a pay-per-view event?
I don't think we're that close. Not yet.
But do you think it's going to be eventually like on Netflix, the Super Bowl on Netflix or something like that? Do you see
I think
that
it'll be
happening
on.
within the
I
next
think
10 years?
I think so. Like a Netflix or maybe even Hulu,
Yeah. I
but
think
not
we're
right now.
close to like where the Sunday ticket, I think we'll eventually move off. I don't know how long the deal is with YouTube TV, but if Netflix can get it, then we're in for like a Super Bowl on Netflix kind of thing, and that's just going to change everything because that'll basically kill cable like completely
Yeah,
because that's pretty much the only thing left. Because even when you look at like, I think the NBA is also looking at possibly like, I don't know if they're going to go to Amazon or NBC. Those are the two that I'm hearing. Um, Once sports leaves completely off cable and you go to streaming, it's just gonna just
yeah.
completely kill
Because
cable.
if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I might have heard wrong, but I think I heard like a coworker saying that they saw like an NBA game on HBO Max. I think they
Yeah,
have TV.
hmm that's all
Yeah,
part of the Warner's banner.
right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's getting to that point where the people that have streaming services or whatever are going to start, being able to see these games. Because
Well,
I
I mean,
because I
just
know on well, I was just
go
gonna
ahead.
say because I know on Prime you can watch. I believe you can watch even like baseball, like live baseball games. I think it's like certain games though, but I mean you can even like it'll tell you upcoming sports. I think you can even watch soccer on there too. So I
Oh yeah,
mean,
yeah. Like everybody's doing it. Like Peacock's got like their brand
yeah,
of sports that they play on there.
right,
Paramount Plus has some stuff. I'm just saying, like once this is a big step for the NFL to do Netflix, and we saw this earlier with. I know this is not the same thing, but WWE's moving their Monday Night Raw show, which they've had for over like 30 plus years, and that's going now to Netflix. So they're kind of like a little bit ahead of it, and NFL I think saw that and the money they could get for it. So you
yeah,
don't think Netflix? I mean, if Netflix takes the NFL, like they win the streaming wars, like it's over.
right.
But
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's great though.
yeah, I mean cable, I don't think they can get better with their. They have to get better with their quality because, like I said, when I stream these games on Amazon and the live Netflix specials that I've seen, the 4K presentation is just incredible. And I know when you're still watching stuff on like YouTube TV or even cable, like you kind of still don't get that amazing quality. Sometimes you get some of that pixelated picture. When you're watching it on Amazon, like it's super clear as day. Like you feel like you're there on the grass in the football field. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's just a me thing, but I do notice those kind of things. All right. What else about this schedule is popping out to you? Do you want to talk about?
um, I don't know. I just want to see like all these. I know that in the draft this year's draft, there was a lot of quarterbacks that were taken. So I mean, I just kind of want to see um, how that pans out. With I know with New England they got May, um, and then with who else got a quarterback? Minnesota,
Mm,
Minnesota. Um, there was a couple of other teams, right? Not only that, but I want to see how the Bills are going to be different because they traded away their big weapon. So I mean, now it's different. I know they drafted some kid in the draft, a speedy receiver, but I mean, you don't know what you're going to get with these rookies, Robert. Like
hmm
you don't, I mean, yeah, they're speedy and they're good in college and all that, but coming to the NFL is a whole different. It's a different level. So you don't know who you're going to get. So I mean, I kind of want to see how the Bills um, go with life without Diggs.
hmm
Um, Houston, I want to see them. I mean, they surprised everybody last year. So I mean, this past off season, they made some huge moves,
hmm
and it felt like maybe Jerry Jones was spending money there in Houston, huh? But I mean, they made some moves. So I mean, I want to see the quarterbacks that were drafted this year, and I want to see how it goes, how they develop, if they're going to put them in already, like Caleb Williams. I mean, I don't know, Robert, with you, but with me, when you draft a quarterback and you start them right off the bat, I kind of feel like that's bad. I kind of feel like they should do like they did in the old days where they would draft somebody and then they would just sit, kind of like
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think
And
it depends though. Like if they're in a situation where it's good, so like I know we do like our prediction stuff like later on down the road, but
right,
I'm gonna spoil it for the audience. My surprise team this season is gonna be the Minnesota Vikings, where I think they have everything on the offensive side of the ball, and their defense is pretty solid, but they got an offensive head coach that's going to be more creative, like a Sean McVay type of thing. And all you need is to plug in that quarterback. And I'm not saying like JJ McCarthy's like the answer, but I think he's better off in a situation like that. Like I think if you would have put Bryce Young last year in that situation, I think he would have been a little bit more successful as opposed to like where you start him right off the bat in Carolina, where he's got like nothing to work with and he looks like a complete bust.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year was Houston for my surprise. This year it's going to be Atlanta. I mean, I want to see what happens with Kirk Cousins. I mean, now you got,
Is that a
you got,
surprise though? Because everybody's picking him.
I haven't heard everybody picking them, Robert.
It's because
I actually,
you haven't
they're
been watching the way I watch.
no. They're going to
You've
be
been
my
off. You've been
surprise.
off. Season
No,
off.
they're going to be my surprise. I mean, with Bijan Robinson, with Pitts, with the receivers that they got in the offseason. So I want to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about the Chicago Bears, Robert. I don't know about you, but I'm excited because of what they did. Caleb Williams, when we saw, remember we were watching that game back in Dallas where it was
Yeah.
Colorado and USC,
Yeah.
and it was dominating, and then it turned it into a game, and I mean he's exciting. So I mean I want to see, and he
Yeah. Well, I
played
mean, on paper they look great, but I know we have to see it, right?
right,
But
and I mean he I feel like Caleb Williams plays with passion.
mhm.
That's what I think. And when you have somebody that plays with passion, that they work hard, they want to work hard, and they want to get better or be better. So I mean, I want to see what happens with what's going on in Chicago, and let's see what happens there. But yeah, pretty much just the quarterbacks that were drafted this year. I want to see how it goes.
So speaking of the Bears, I'm looking right here at the Sunday Night Football schedule, and some of these matchups were like, if you look at even 5 seasons ago, you would have been like, this is nuts. So, like week 2, we're getting Bears Texans. Like 5 years ago, those teams were nothing, and now they're back like in prime
Yeah,
time. So that's good. Another
yeah,
one is like Lions Texans. Who would have thought that? Like 5 years ago, like just
right.
incredible turnarounds by these teams. What's another one? Dolphins, Browns. That's one possibly, but Browns only because of the defense and how dominating they were. So I can see that.
Right.
Um, Jets, Colts, Week 11. Jets obviously the biggest reason why they have a lot of those games is because Aaron Rodgers is there. But
Right.
even then, like the Colts are rebuilding and they got a nice tandem there. Hopefully that Anthony Richardson can stay healthy. We know their coach is a real deal because even the Colts were still fighting even without him in the roster. So
Yeah.
yeah, the Sunday Night Football schedule is, other than Bengals Giants. I mean, Joe Burrow, yes, is the draw, but the Giants really, I don't think they deserve any primetime games this year. To be honest, everything else on this schedule looks right about right. Texans Chiefs, like how, geez, the Texans are on this thing like 3 times. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um,
Yeah.
Dallas is only on here twice. Like the Texans have more, or I think one of them is no. I think they're tied, but either way, we can kind of see like the tide turning in Texas as far as like you can feel the rise of the Texans. Like something's happening over there where I think it's going to be special. And all the stuff that they did in the draft and free agency, whoo, boy,
hmm
I
Yeah.
cannot wait
D'Amico
to watch
Ryan,
this team.
man.
Yeah,
And it's even to where JJ Watt's like, hey, I'll come out of retirement
I
and play
know.
if you need me. So Houston's coming up and coming here.
That's a
Shout out to my
storyline to
uncle.
watch. If
Yeah,
they get into the playoffs, which I think, I mean, if we're calling our shots early, we'll say Houston gets in. I bet you JJ, he's right there by his phone, staying in shape, all that stuff.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they call him up.
How are we feeling about the Niners and the Chiefs as far as like them trying to get back to the Super Bowl? Like, are the other teams just getting too better? Is Kansas City going to luck out again, or do you think that you know Houston will emerge? Maybe Joe Burrow stays healthy. The Chargers make something happen with Harbaugh.
I I think the Niners, out of those two, I think the Niners are in trouble. I think they're more to be where they might be pushing the panic button.
How
Um,
so?
I mean, you've got the issues with Ayuk. I
But
mean,
John Lynch has already cleared the air on all that. Like those guys are staying.
yeah, but I mean, Debo Samuel, he's got to find a way to stay healthy. I mean, I'm surprised Christian McCaffrey stayed healthy like he did last year, as many games as he did. But the Chiefs, they with them getting that receiver in the draft, man, I can't remember his name for the life. Oh, Worthy, Xavier Worthy. That's a speedster. I mean, and he's got great hands, and you give him to Mahomes, and then I think I they got somebody else, right? Who was it? Hollywood Brown. You know, you put Hollywood Brown
Mm-hmm.
on there. I mean, he hasn't done anything because Murray was out last year, but I mean, he's still not done.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I don't know, Robert. I gotta say, I think Burrow's the kryptonite that we need. I think Burrow's the savior that we need to help.
Or are we not
Take,
you're not factoring in Harbaugh? He's in the same division.
yeah, yeah, Robert, but they didn't really address the receivers
Right, but if you can get
area.
physical with Kansas City and beat them up, that's what Harbaugh's going to bring to the AFC West. Like, oh, you want to be finesse? We're gonna fucking bust you up.
I think it's going to be. I like Harbaugh. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be just him trying to figure out the kinks this first year because I mean I'm not going to say they're not going to make the playoffs or anything, but I just don't think that they're going to be. They don't scare me much. Um, if Bosa can stay healthy, then maybe. I think they
But
kept
they
Khalil
should,
Mack,
because
right?
watch what they're gonna do. They're gonna run the ball a lot, and they're gonna ground and pound and take the clock
Who's the
away.
running back? Who's the
Don't worry,
running back?
they're gonna figure it out.
Robert, God, man, I can't
Trust in
wait.
Harbaugh.
I can't wait for the picks. You're gonna lose again to me. You're
Nah,
gonna lose.
you're gonna lose just like you can't help yourself and talk about the Cowboys. You can't fucking
That's
help
that's
yourself.
that's that's the only thing you got, motherfucker. Because you know I fucking you. I own you. I own you.
Nah, nobody owns
Huh?
me. I own this
I'm
show.
I'm the Rog. I'm Rogers. I own you, motherfucker.
What,
Huh?
you're
I
gonna
own
tear
the
your
Bears.
Achilles?
No,
I
no, no, no,
play.
no, 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 no.
I'm present. I'm like attendance. Who's here? I'm here. That's
I
me.
own you. The the
Nah.
the picks I get you on that. The fantasy football, huh?
Fantasy?
Yeah,
Who's the reigning defending Super Bowl champion? I haven't brought that up. Who is it? You wanted
I'm
to bring
coming back.
fantasy into this. Who's the defending
I'm coming.
champion?
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Huh?
Who's the defending
Yeah,
champion? Say it for the
that's all
audience.
right. You were the
Say
fucking
who it is.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm the
You were
defending
the
champion.
Chiefs. Yeah,
Nah, nah.
and I was the Niners. I almost had it. I had it. I had it.
I'm
You're
not
like,
even
oh
going to
man.
claim back to back, but I'm going to have a great season this year. Ain't afraid of nobody.
Huh?
Don't have to.
Now
And
you.
I didn't even have
Uh,
to, folks, I didn't even have to move my roster like barely anything. Abe was over here with his like Tony Stark freaking like computer screen, like trying to like just figure out different players to drop and add every single week. Me just rode along, brother. Even when I had injuries, I was like, it's all right. I'm going to gut it out. I
you
won the Super
fucking.
Bowl, won the big
You
one.
gave up. You gave
I
up.
love
You
it.
thought I was like you
My
and
Super
fucking
Bowl
Jake.
trophy should be coming in very soon.
You and Jake thought I was fucking done. Nah.
And I beat you in this. That's what made it great. I beat you in the Super Bowl. That was the best part of it. Yeah. So bring it. I ain't scared of you.
That's okay. You got your little one Super Bowl win.
You
Well,
fuck.
I have many.
It was a
I have
convincing,
many.
and mine was a convincing. Mine was like the Bucks. Our Super Bowl was like the Bucks against the damn Chiefs, where it was just like it was a rout. Like you knew, like by halftime, you knew it was over.
You
You
didn't
know
know
it too,
shit.
huh? Look at
Yeah,
you with your clean shaven face for
that's
the
all right.
audience, for the
I'll be
audio people.
back.
Sorry.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
It's gonna be a fun season. I'm super excited. The NFL is always fun, but I think this year there's really a lot to look forward to. And barring like, please, like we don't want people to get injured. Like as much as I give
Yeah,
shit to Abe and the Aaron Rodgers thing, like it sucked that he went down last year because you want to have Aaron Rodgers in these games because it like they're more fun to watch. So
hey,
hopefully,
Robert, real quick. If he hadn't gotten injured, what would you put the Jets at?
that's interesting because the Chiefs were ripe for the picking, and I think Let's say it would have been Jets Chiefs like in a wild card. I think Aaron Rodgers could have found a way to like maybe like sneak in like one play where it's like gonna even it's like if it's gonna extend the drive and it'll run the clock out. Like something like a
Right.
dagger like that where it's like, oh shit, like Mahomes isn't gonna have a chance to come back.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers still has that in him. I'm not saying you have to like blow out a team, but he can hit you with that dagger. Like the way I always think of that Cowboys game where he just I forgot he threw a pass. It might have been to like it might have been to like Jordy Nelson, or whoever, and like it just sealed the game against the Cowboys. And it wasn't even like high scoring or anything like that. It was just like a dagger, just like
Right.
Brady like. So I think I don't know. I wouldn't say they'd win the Super Bowl. So I would say they probably would have gotten knocked out by like the Bills or even the Ravens. I don't know, but who knows?
Yeah.
Can't look at
Yeah.
what ifs. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to come back stronger this year.
We'll see. TBD with you. But you can always expect a great season out of Palace, great season, over 10 wins. We'll be in the playoffs. We'll always be in the hunt, always a threat. Abe's got to prove himself. Yeah. Yeah. Look at you.
I was
Look at you.
MVP.
You MVP. You weren't, what do you were fucking injured. What do you mean MVP?
Yeah,
Fuck out
last
of
year I
here.
didn't get it. I didn't get it,
Yeah,
but
you didn't get it
this
last
year
year. Yeah.
I'm already in the
I
talks.
didn't get
It's
it
already
either,
in the
but I won the
talks.
Super Bowl, so who cares?
You're
Woo!
fucking Chiefs, motherfucker, huh?
I didn't I didn't squeeze in. I earned my wins.
I'm excited for this year with our special guests again, and then we're gonna get music finally, right, for the
We have
intro.
theme music, which will debut on today's episode
Yeah.
once this posts for the audience. So look forward to
And then
that. Abe's getting the new logo.
I got that. I got that coming the end of this month. It'll be ready to go for shirts.
Yep. We'll be traveling. We'll be. I don't. I really don't want to be guest host heavy too much this season because I wanted to really us to really be going at it. But I mean, of course, anyone's always got an open invite to the show. But I really want to solidify season 2 as like this is our thing, and we're gonna have these strong debates and all that. Once Jaco gets back in here, like when I have these hard debates, and Jake's gonna have to get in there. I don't want to hear any of this trash. That's not gonna fly. Do your homework. Do the research. We're gonna talk a lot of good football this season.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited.
All right. Anything else that you want to cover on this schedule release night?
Um, no, not really. I think we covered.
Yeah. We'll see about my Bucks and my Pats. Like I said, I have high expectations for the Bucks. For the Patriots, I'm keeping it really tapered. Um, who knows even if Drake May is going to start because I know they also have Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
It's still rebuilding. I'm not expecting. There's always a surprise every year, right? Where a team comes out of nowhere. It could be New England, you never know, but I'm not really expecting it. It'll definitely be. I mean, last season was just a disaster. I mean that it can only get better from there for me. Like as a Patriots fan, like it can't get any worse than that. Um, but
Right.
we'll see. Brady's on the broadcast this season, so that'll make a lot of games fun to watch. I hope he does well. Hopefully he's not like too much like Tony Romo, where he's all over the place and gets discombobulated. Hopefully he's very like methodical and just honest. I want honest commentary. I'm sick of like, I kind of miss like the days of Gruden where he would just, well, even then Gruden was also kind of like super always complimentary. Like say something like if it's a bad play or why did you call that? Like that's why you brought in Brady. He's the one that can give that type of criticism and it's warranted because you can't tell him shit because he's won 7 Super Bowls. So if anyone's like the right person to constructively criticize like a team or a player or whatever, like he's the right guy for the job, I think. And Belichick's going to be on the Manning cast this season, all season. That'll be
Nice.
interesting. Yeah.
Maybe he's not on the Cowboys by then, by midseason. But anyway.
He's not going to the Cowboys.
Ah. All right,
I'm
Robert.
telling you that Philly job is waiting for him if it doesn't work out with Nick Sirianni.
He's not going to go to Philly. Fuck out of here. He
Why
knows
not?
better not to go to Philly. He knows better not to go to Philly.
Just wait, because
I
all these free agents. How come they never picked Dallas?
We
Say,
we
Abe,
we were
how come
talking.
they never?
We were talking chop the other day. Me and Belichick,
Huh?
and he's like
You weren't doing
Philly's
shit. But why don't they ever
not.
go to Dallas? Huh? Tell me, answer me that.
Philly
You
wasn't his cup of
mark.
tea, huh? Just like Tom
I'm
Brady.
not
Tom
asking you
Brady
that. I'm asking you why the free agents never go to Dallas. Huh?
because they want money. Jerry's not going to spend the money. Jerry's got to think about Parsons. He's
Because
got to
they
think
know where they're
about
going to win.
Lamb.
That's why. It's
Uh,
not even about money. They know where they're going to win.
if
Vato.
Tom Brady, if Tom Brady came out of retirement and went to the Cowboys, you'd pound your chest,
No,
motherfucker. I
I've
know you
already.
would.
Why does everybody assume that I would just automatically go for the
You
Cowboys?
would.
No, like that
You
would be
would.
it. That I would wish him
Ro-
well. Like, hey, look,
Robert,
we had a great run, but no.
Robert, you right now on the air,
Yes.
you would fucking pick against him if
Depending
they
on who the
no.
matchup is.
Oh my gosh,
It
Robert.
depends on the matchup. What do you want me to do? I got to be
If
fair.
okay, if
If
the
I think he can
Cowboys
get
are
the team
if
to
they
win, yes.
if Brady the Cowboys played the Niners, you're gonna fucking pick the Niners?
I mean, they have the better players. Who does Brady got right
Oh,
now? Who
you're
does he have?
fucking
Who
ridiculous,
does he have? CeeDee Lamb and who else?
Robert.
Who
You're
does he
not a
have? Does he have? He doesn't have a run game.
you're not a fucking true fan, bitch. You're not
What
a true fan, mother. I'm
do
gonna
you mean
call
I'm
you
not a
out,
true fan?
because he didn't have anybody when he was in New England. He still
But he had a
fucking
run game. He had a defense. He had skill
like Garrett
guys. He had
Blunt,
like
like
he had like
Garrett Blunt,
receivers that could catch the ball.
Blunt was
Huh?
the run game.
Blunt,
Garrett
Corey
Blunt.
Dillon, freaking James White. There's
Oh,
all these running backs that he's had.
okay, Robert. And so
Yeah, he
is
doesn't
out.
have shit. He doesn't have a run game. He doesn't
Rico
have
Dowdle.
like the best line. Oh, maybe he might have a good O line, but the he doesn't have like the weapons to move it down the field.
Robert, he's got a young tight end. He's got Lamb. He's got Cook.
No, you don't know. I know.
He's
I know
he's
my boy,
got
and I know
he's
what he
got
can work with.
Tolbert. No.
Yeah. You don't
Oh
know the
man,
NFL like I do it. You don't know the
I
NFL like me and Brady know it.
I hope
Yeah,
he comes out of retirement. I hope he goes to the Cowboys because I want
that'll
you to
never
fuck it.
happen. That'll
And I
never
want
ever
you to fuck.
happen.
Now you'll buy his jersey, motherfucker. I
I
know
won't
you.
buy it. I'm
You'll
saying it
buy it.
right here, right now on the air. If Tom Brady comes out of retirement and goes to the Dallas Cowboys, I will not root for that team, and I will not root for him in that jersey.
I want to see you delete his number, and I want to fucking see. I want you to pick against him every
I'll never
week.
delete. I have his number on my phone.
No. I have his and Belichick's,
No, you don't.
motherfucker.
You don't have shit.
Yeah.
Just like you don't have that
You,
Super Bowl title that I have. Yeah,
that's right. You have the other years. What do you?
yeah,
It's okay, Robert. I'll let you have that one. That's your only one.
yeah. The one that counted, the
All
one
right.
that mattered,
It eats you. It
the
eats
one that
you.
mattered. How does it eat me if I won?
I
How
know.
does it eat me?
You don't win. You don't
You're
win.
not. You're not ready for me this season. I'm season 2. I'm in goat mode.
You ain't in shit.
Yeah. All
We'll
right,
see.
folks. We're gonna wrap it up for this episode. Won't go too long here. Schedule's out. Now it's time to look forward to like the OTAs and seeing what else happens. And we'll probably be back sometime like maybe early August. I mean, that's my best guess because that's when stuff starts to really start cooking, and we can probably dive into like divisions and conferences, and we can go in by each division each week. We can do that. We'll discuss that off air, but yeah, that's what's to come. And then once we hit September, it's going to be every week until the Super Bowl. So I hope you're ready for a long season, my friend.
I'm ready.
So hope you're ready for that bet that you're going to lose, but
Ah,
I'll rope you. I roped you today, and it's okay.
no.
Yeah,
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
too easy, too
But
easy.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this season. And what's to come.
All right, folks. You can listen to the 2 Minute Drive podcast on anywhere where you get your podcasts, and that be, Apple, Spotify, Google, Pandora, Podbean, which is where I distribute this podcast through all the social media platforms on Instagram, X, and Facebook. I run the Facebook page. Jake runs the Instagram account, and Abe runs the X account for the 2 Minute Drive podcast. So you can reach out to us there, DM, comment.
Email.
You know the email, my friend. So I'll let you plug that.
Yeah, it's a 2 minute drive. The number 2 TWO spelled out 2 Minute Drive Podcast at outlook.com. So hit us up on the email. I'd like to get more activity going on the email. I mean, I know our boy Brandon was active on there too, so I appreciate him and a couple of others, I believe. But if we can get more activity out of that, I mean, questions, something from our audience out there. I mean, everything is appreciated. We'll
All
air
right,
it. We'll mention it on the air. But yeah,
cool. Well, like I said, you might not hear from us for a while, so probably maybe like early August. But we'll constantly update the social media pages and keep you up to date if there's stuff going on. So, but that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. So for Abraham Trevino, I'm Palace. We're gonna sign off for tonight.
peace.
Later, guys.